Korea, Israel, Korea, you know what I mean? Y'all ain't got nothing going on. Y'all niggas is weak as hell. Y'all Korean niggas is weakest. Tomorrow I'm outside for Halloween. Come catch me. I'm outside tomorrow. Come find me.
Johnny Somali has reportedly left South Korea, as revealed in newly leaked footage, and things are heating up fast. The U.S. government appears to have a particularly intriguing perspective on this situation, making it clear that Johnny's troubles are far from over. In fact, a recent report has unveiled that Somali is on the brink of facing yet another major legal battle. This latest case is no small matter. It's serious business. Allegedly, Somali stirred up controversy by attempting to circulate North Korean propaganda while in South Korea. A lawyer recently took to X, posting about this incident and sharing incriminating details about Johnny Somali.
If he was doing this as a joke once, I would say that they're probably not going to do anything about it, right? The problem is he has repeatedly done this. Not just once, but multiple times. He played North Korean propaganda on the metro, on the bus, at Lotte World, various places. He's gone all around making North Korean statements.
He wrote, "This post by Johnny Somali could earn him additional charges of up to 7 years in South Korean prison." Seoul prosecutors are now watching Johnny Somali's every move with laser focus. Promoting North Korean propaganda is no joke in South Korea. It's a serious crime. But it seems this critical law doesn't register in Somali's head, as he continued pushing the same reckless narrative. A lawyer on X had some sharp words about the situation, stating, "This isn't a matter of obstruction of business or deep fakes anymore." Somali's outrageous antics have escalated this into a full-blown national security issue. And when it comes to protecting their country, South Koreans do not mess around. There are even whispers that Somali could face charges for acting as a North Korean agent, though some believe that may be more out of spite than hard evidence. But whether or not he's labeled a spy, one thing is clear: he's staring down a long and harsh punishment. Reports suggest that his actions weren't just reckless. They could have triggered a major conflict. And that's not all. Allegations are swirling that Johnny Somali may be attempting to take refuge in North Korea. He's reportedly been creating videos showing support for the regime, potentially hoping they'll shield him if South Korean authorities gather enough evidence to take him down. Some locals even speculate that Somali has already crossed into North Korea, though experts dismiss this as highly unlikely. After all, dozens of agents are reportedly monitoring him around the clock, making any escape nearly impossible. Still, the drama continues to unfold, and every new twist only makes Somali's situation more precarious. One user couldn't help but crack a grim joke about the unfolding chaos, saying, "This guy's gonna end up with a 50-year sentence when it's all said and done." And honestly, it doesn't feel far from reality. Johnny Somali's actions are so extreme that some believe he's knowingly putting himself in a situation that's almost a form of self-sabotage. Getting tangled up in something this dangerous is like walking straight into a storm with no way out. It's practically a death wish. It appears that even Johnny Somali is starting to understand just how deep he's in. Getting out of this mess seems nearly impossible for him, and his recent behavior reflects that realization. He's now making a desperate attempt to clean up his image. After releasing a poorly thought-out apology video addressing his controversial antics at the Statue of Comfort, he even went as far as deleting the story where he played the North Korean anthem. But the cracks in his strategy are glaring. According to legal experts like the Legal Mindset, simply playing the North Korean anthem is a crime in South Korea, let alone his repeated public displays of DPRK propaganda, both online and in person. Legal Mindset noted, especially in light of his repeated use of DPRK propaganda in public places both online and in person. As if things couldn't get more bizarre, another video of Somali is making waves online. In it, he's seen blasting the Imperial Japanese Army March while displaying the Roman salute, an image charged with deeply offensive symbolism. And it doesn't stop there. In this same clip, he provocatively calls on Koreans to go fight Japan, further fanning the flames of historical tensions in the region. Each new video only makes his situation worse, and it's clear that Somali's desperate attempts to feign innocence are doing more harm than good. One user on social media made a sharp, sarcastic suggestion, writing, "Maybe Johnny Somali could be a unifying event for North and South Korea. They could collaborate on his punishment, transport him to a North Korean labor camp for life, but let South Korea film it as a reality show of him crying himself to sleep." While it's meant as a joke, it reflects the growing public disdain for Somali and his unrelenting antics. His behavior has gone beyond shocking. It's outright bizarre. The man's actions are spiraling further into absurdity, like the time he literally assaulted a fish in South Korea. At this point, it feels like anything that moves in his path risks being attacked by this man. His reputation as a nuisance live streamer is practically an understatement. One user on X posted, "Nuisance live streamer Johnny Somali faces an additional 7 years in prison for spreading North Korean propaganda. This is on top of the 10 years he's already facing for assault charges and other crimes in South Korea." But what's truly mind-boggling is his apparent confidence. Despite the mounting charges against him and the fact that he openly insulted South Korea, Somali seems unfazed by the potential consequences. Some speculate that he's still clinging to the idea of seeking refuge in North Korea once the dust settles. Of course, most see this as an unrealistic and almost laughable notion. There's no way South Korea will simply let him walk away without paying the price for his actions. On Reddit, users are actively debating his likely punishment, with one comment standing out. "Given the politics of the situation, I think he'll get somewhere around 12 to 16 years, with the possibility of early parole. That way, the judge shows leniency, but not too much, considering his multiple crimes are stacking up." Regardless of the exact sentence, it's clear that Johnny Somali's time is running out. With charges piling higher and public sentiment overwhelmingly against him, the legal system appears ready to make an example out of his reckless behavior. Another user didn't hold back, writing, "The South Korean system can no longer kid glove this. If they don't drop the hammer on him hard, they will lose a huge amount of face to the world that is watching, and by now, that's not insignificant. Nor will the South Korean citizens tolerate it, as it sends the message that they are soft on crime, failing to punish someone for ethical atrocities against monuments honoring their painful history, and that they don't care." This sentiment captures the growing frustration within South Korea. The situation isn't just about Johnny Somali's behavior, it's about the country's moral standing. Citizens and officials alike see this as a critical moment to demonstrate that such offenses won't be tolerated. Some speculate that there might have already been discussions between South Korea and the United States about how to manage this delicate issue. One theory even suggests that South Korea could consider holding Somali until the U.S. political landscape shifts, possibly waiting for figures like Dr. Trump or Berger to gain power, before deciding whether to send him back to face justice in America. However, given the weight of his crimes, it's highly doubtful that South Korea will simply throw him out. His actions have deeply offended the country, and they're unlikely to let him escape accountability so easily. Despite the dire circumstances, Johnny Somali reportedly still hopes for intervention from the U.S. Embassy, clinging to the idea that they might step in and save him. But the harsh reality is that this support isn't coming, and the sooner Somali realizes this, the better it will be for him, though it might already be too late. Another Reddit user echoed the general sentiment, writing, "Johnny will probably be made an example to aid with this, and I'm all for it. Many believe Somali's punishment will serve as a cautionary tale, sending a strong message to others who might try to exploit or disrespect South Korea's laws and culture. This case has even entered the realm of politics. Though South Korea's next local elections won't be held until 2026, there's widespread belief that politicians will leverage Somali's sentencing as a major talking point. Simply putting him behind bars would be a symbolic and practical victory, likely celebrated throughout the nation as a firm stance against those who disrespect its values. You can only imagine how furious South Koreans are right now. If Johnny Somali ends up getting charged for playing the North Korean anthem, his situation will go from bad to catastrophic. It's already going to be an uphill battle trying to explain to a judge that his antics were all for money and attention. But the moment you bring national security into the picture, it's game over. There's no way Somali can talk his way out of that. He's running out of lifelines, and it's clear that the very rights he thinks could save him are slipping through his fingers. What's truly maddening is how Somali has managed to survive this long, while engaging in some of the most vile and offensive behavior imaginable. His audacity has pushed every possible boundary, leaving people shocked that he's even made it this far. Now, many believe Johnny Somali might make a desperate plea for asylum in North Korea once it finally dawns on him that the U.S. Embassy won't come to his rescue. Others speculate he could attempt to flee South Korea altogether. But here's the catch: running will only dig a deeper hole for him. If he tries to escape, additional charges will likely be waiting for him upon capture. One user summed up the absurdity perfectly, writing, "Remember when racist dwarf Johnny Somali played North Korean propaganda on his speaker at various public locations, like buses and other public spaces? Well, dumbass Johnny Somali doesn't realize that this can actually be used against him in court. The question now is whether North Korea would offer him even a shred of support just to spite South Korea, or if Somali is set to spend the rest of his life behind bars. Many doubt North Korea would want any thing to do with him, leaving Somali with no allies and nowhere to run. Public sentiment is overwhelmingly against him. His outlandish and offensive behavior has made him a symbol of what happens when boundaries are crossed without regard for culture, history, or law. The stakes are higher than ever, and it seems inevitable that Johnny Somali will face the full consequences of his actions. What do you think? Could Somali possibly find a way out of this? Or is he all but destined to spend the rest of his days facing punishment in South Korea?
This is a United States military base. I am American. America built this country.